Record on. All right, looks like we're recording. Look what I did there. All right, guys, happy Wednesday morning. Thank you so much for taking the time to be on the call. We have an amazing speaker. We've got Jessica, which I am very fortunate and blessed to be friends with. We partnered together along with Alicia in a mastermind group with corporate that corporate puts on. So we do weekly calls and we just kind of come together to learn best practices, kind of, work through issues, learn, grow, connect, everything. That's one thing that I really love about Team Beachbody is it's not just about, hey, let me work my business. It's like, hey, anybody in the organization, if you have a question, we're all here to support one another. And I think that that's so valuable and such a unique thing. That a lot of companies honestly don't offer. There's a lot of competition, and I love that they have the team in front of Beachbody because that's truly what we are. So really quick before we get started, does anybody have any shout outs or anything, any housekeeping or anything like that they want to share? No? All right, cool, I like it. Let's get right to it. So I want to introduce you to Jessica. Like I said, she's amazing. We were actually able to connect and spend some quality time together along with Chloe at our last Success Club retreat, which was in Mexico. So guys, make those not your non-negotiables. And if you don't know how to get on those Success Club trips, all it is helping 3 people every month with a challenge pack. That's it. And then your ticket and the ticket for one of your spouses or friends or whatever you get for you and a friend, you plus another person. So those should be non-negotiables. And it's also a great reflection on how your business is growing because helping 3 people every month is showing that your business is progressing forward. So without further ado, I'm going to let Jessica take it away. And I think you have to unmute yourself because I don't know where the unmute button is on here. There you go.
I think I did it. Can you hear me? Yeah? Okay. Okay. Our last conference call, for some reason, they couldn't hear me. So, okay. Diana, can you hear me? I don't think she can. Weird. Okay. You can't? But everyone else can. This is so weird. I feel like Zoom is weird today because I tested my microphone before here and that was fine. I don't know. Okay, well, I'm going to go for it. She's like, what's going on? Thank you guys so much for having me here. I will tell you that I just drank Energize, but I also have a sleeping baby right here. So I'm like, I want to be so loud. I can't be very loud. Yeah, we'll see. So I am very much the multitasking mom coach. A little background on me. I've been a coach for a little over 2.5 years now, and my team's a 4-star diamond coach, 4-star diamond team. And I have 2 baby boys. Liam is 9 months, and then I have an almost 3-year-old. He is currently at daycare, thank the Lord, or else it would be a little bit more crazy here. And I am a registered nurse. I just retired from my job in June to do coaching full time, but I know, super stoked about that. But the first 2 years of my business, I worked full time in a prison. Yes, I got out of jail, got out of prison. Beachbody got me out of prison, and to kind of give you an idea, like a lot of people can multitask when they're working at their job outside their home, but when you work inside a prison, you cannot have your phone. It's against the law to have your phone. You don't have internet access to on your break, go on social media really quick. I could access email here and there, but it was really not good if I did. If I got caught, I would have gotten in trouble. They can access your computer at any time to see what you're doing. So, it was really, I walked the fine line sometimes. I try to write a post on a Word document and then send it to myself, on a break, which I should not have been doing. But I share that with you because I really it was hard. Like I had a 3-month-old when I started, and I was working full time, and then I got pregnant again, and so then I was pregnant, working full time with a baby at home and family stuff, and trying to build my business, and it was a lot. And I know a lot of people are in that place right now where you have life going on top of you see this coaching opportunity, and you see all these other people being successful, and you have your own dreams and your own goals, and you're like, that would be amazing. But then you're like, but this is my life right now, and I just can't do it. I just can't put the time in, or I just can't wake up that early, or I just can't, and then we start listing out our excuses. And then before you know it, a lot of people quit. I see people quit usually more commonly in their first year, because in my opinion, the first year is the hardest, because you're putting in so much effort and it's so much to learn, and you get overwhelmed and you get frustrated and you're not seeing the return for your investment. And so you give up and you're like, this just wasn't for me. But really, the way this business model is set up, the first year is kind of like your investment. The way I look at it, I spent 4 years and $100,000 to get my bachelor's degree in nursing. And I went to college with the mindset of I'm investing these 4 years of my life to get a degree that's going to give me a stable job. Like that was literally, that's going to pay decent. And that was why I invested all of that time and money for the outcome. And so with Beachbody, it's crazy because our investment is a challenge pack. Like we don't even have overhead, you guys. Like it's crazy. Granted, we should be investing in our business and ads and different things, but we don't have overhead, and we can build create our own schedule on our own time and our own hours. And the income potential is absolutely insane. But so many people quit because they don't see it like that. They just give up, and they don't see that I'm putting in the time now for what I'm creating. And so I start with that because I feel like so much of this, like 100% of it, is a mindset of what are your intentions, and realistically, have you put your vision, like your vision board ahead of you, and said, okay, I'm doing this now. This is hard now while I'm in life, while my kids are little, while I'm working full time. This is hard now. And nothing good in our life, nothing great in our life should come easy, to be honest. And this is hard now, and I'm going to embrace that because I have such a bigger plan ahead. So that's kind of what I want to start with. I'm going to share with you some strategies that have really helped me and my team hit diamond. So how many of you are shooting to hit diamond? I know you guys have a team retreat coming up in Mexico or something incredible like that, right? So if that's your goal, is to maybe hit diamond or help one of your coaches hit diamond, or maybe grow your spouse's account to diamond, do me a favor in the chat box and just tell me kind of like where you're at. How far do you have to go? How close are you? It'd be cool to see kind of where everyone's at as we go along. To give you some perspective, one of the best things that helped me was asking other coaches who've been doing this for a while, okay, how long did it take you to hit diamond? Or how long what's the fastest anyone's ever done it? And I feel like a lot of times in this business, we overcomplicate it. Really, diamond is 12 coaches, 12 people. I loved we just were on a corporate, our mastermind that we just had literally right before this call. And our guest speaker said, diamond is 12 Shakeology lovers. And I loved that, because if you find 12 people who love Shakeology and see the value in it, who wouldn't want the discount? Like, why wouldn't you want to get it cheaper? So I love that simplification. But really, diamond is 12 people. I hit diamond within a month when I first started, and that was working full time with the kids and family and all of that. Recently, as my team was pushing for 5-star, I helped my mom grow her account to diamond in 17 days. I know another coach on my upline who she hit diamond in 11 days, and she hit 10-star. I'm trying to remember this. She hit 10-star in 11 months. And I was like, what? But the best thing that did for me was open my brain to the possibility of that, being possible. Granted, it would take you working your ass off and like a lot of work to do that, and a lot of pushing past your fears and barriers and your belief system, but it's possible. And so for you, you know, maybe ask yourself, why have I struggled in this area? Or how can I help my coaches see the potential? And if so, November 22nd, hopefully you guys all have that deadline, because I think that's your qualification deadline for your retreat. But for all of us, it's a big end of year push for qualification for different things. So new leader conference, if you want to go to that, you have to be a 1-star, wake up a 1-star on Thanksgiving morning as a 1-star or higher, 1-star diamond or higher. For premier or elite, like you have to have your ranking not locked in, but qualification on November 22nd. And then we all have to hold that for 6 weeks. So a lot of us have built these different incentives around November 22nd. So with that in mind, we are 2 days less than 1 month away from that. And I know a lot of people could be like overwhelmed. Even a brand new coach, right, would probably think there's no way that I could do that. But really, you could. I promise you. And I'm going to show you how. So I'm going to actually send this outline that I have. I forgot to send it to you, Diana, but I think that this would be helpful for you guys. Did you guys all get the diamond tracker that I use? Did you end up posting that on your page? Okay. So with the tracker that I use, this is something that I created because it made sense to my brain. So just do whatever works for you. All the different green lines in there is because you never really know who's going to be an emerald, right? And so it could be, obviously your spouse is one. If you are married and you sign up your spouse, it's an obvious one, but you never know who else is going to pop emerald. Your goal is to get everyone to emerald and explain that, hey, let's get your Shakeology paid for. But so my first tip for you is to create your vision and your diamond tracker. The best thing that I ever did. So I'm not going to lie. I was someone who I heard about vision boards and all that stuff. And I'm like, that's crazy. That's for a bunch of hippies. Like, I'm someone who like works really hard and I'll do it. But like that vision board stuff and expecting it to happen and that, like, that's for like the new agey crazy people. Well, I'm very humbled to tell you that it works. It works because it's really setting your intention every single day. So when I had the goal to hit 5-star and we came one coach short on the qualification day, and we hit it the next week, and then we dropped back down. But still, we grew so much during that time. Literally, I think it was in a couple months. I went from 1-star active to 4-star. 5-star qualifying. But I had everywhere, like all over, you can't see my wall, but all over my wall behind me, I had a letter board that I wrote out the date and 5-star diamond team, all things are possible. I had it on my chalkboard. I had it everywhere. I had Post-it notes everywhere I looked. And it kind of set my intention, like I'm expecting this to happen. And that is huge. So whatever your goal is, be very clear November 22nd where you want to be and expect it to happen. And then with the diamond tracker, what I encourage you to do, what I encourage my coaches to do, is maybe take a pencil and write in the people who have not yet joined your team, but you know in your circle would support you or could use this, who you maybe haven't approached or they've said no so far, but maybe later, who you need to follow up with. Because especially like as a new coach, you find 12 people in your life. I like to use the example of if you were to do a GoFundMe account because you were sick or you had a big need in your life, who would be the first people to support you in that? And there's nothing wrong with telling people, hey, this is what my vision is. This is what I'm passionate about. This is a new journey that I started. I really want to support you. And I would love it if you support me too. There's nothing wrong with that. Like, how many of us love to support our friends and our family who are starting something new or starting a business, or we share their stuff because we love what they're doing. We love their heart behind it. So why do we get weird when it comes for us asking for support, right? People love to be a part of what you are creating and to feel like they're, like they're a part of something. So take a pencil and write in 12 people. Remember, diamond is 4 people on each leg and then an emerald on each leg, right? So write in those 12 people and then start expecting them to come and start talking to them and saying, hey, this is what I'm doing. This is my next challenge that I'm doing. I have a big goal this month. I would love if you would be a part of it. Here's how we could get started, and be creative. Maybe you have an incentive of a $10 Amazon gift card. Be like, I'm running a promotion this month only, or only for the next 10 people. People love that kind of stuff. It. Like, we love that kind of stuff. Like, oh my gosh, I get to be a part of this. I get a pen if I do this, like, today. I have to do it today. So be creative with that. If you have not hit Emerald yet, my recommendation is to hit it today. We way overcomplicate things in this business. And if you haven't hit Emerald today, and try to get your coaches to do it. And just say, hey, I really want you to get your Shakeology paid for. There's no reason that you should be paying for it out of pocket. And all of a sudden it catches their attention. Well, what do you mean? Okay, let's get your spouse signed up. Granted, I know it's the same bank account, but let's get your husband signed up, and your mom, or your sister, your mom, and your best friend. And for you, it's the same thing. There's no reason why you can't be Emerald by the end of the day. It is literally that easy. Your spouse and your mom, your best friend and your sister. We overcomplicate it. And that adds a lot of credibility to you too. And it just adds momentum, I promise. Momentum is your best friend in this business. So whatever you can do to generate that and keep it going is very important. Okay, and then you need to create something to invite to. So I don't know how your guys' team runs challenge groups. Do you guys run them together, or does everybody do separate ones?
I typically, I think the majority of my coaches, newer coaches, are in my challenge group. I do have a couple, like Chloe, that do run their own, but primarily, yeah, we do a group.
So when's your guys' next one that you have coming up?
I always start mine the third week of every month. We just started one for Shift Shop on Monday, so it's usually the third Monday of every month.
Okay, awesome. So that will line up perfectly with where your guys' goals are for November 22nd, because then the next one, gosh, I don't know where my calendar is, would be the 19th of November. So how perfect is that? Because that's the week that you're hitting your goals. So start getting people excited and inviting people to be a part of your next challenge group, and say, we're starting this before Thanksgiving to make sure that you actually get more healthy through the holiday season. Start telling stories and putting emotion and feelings. Like, imagine how it would feel to lose 10 pounds within the 2 weeks of Thanksgiving. Like, how incredible would that be? Who would be interested in something like that? And still enjoy Thanksgiving. I'll teach you how to enjoy it, but I'm also going to teach you how to not gorge yourself and feel miserable after. And start speaking to those emotions and inviting people to be a part of this next challenge that you're creating. That's really important, to have something to invite to every single month. Okay. Talk to people. If you're struggling, so hopefully, I don't know if you guys have like a strategy for this already, but it's really highly recommended to have at least 10 people that you're always talking to. And the way my coach trained me is to have like a list of 10 in play. 10 people you're always in conversation with. And if they sign up, they get off that list and they go to your customers. And if they tell you, no, I want nothing to do with you, which no one hardly ever hears, then they can be removed from your list too, right? But always have at least 10 in play. My goal for myself, whatever my Success Club number goal is, that's how many people I at least need to be talking to. So this month, my SC goal was SC 20. So my list is between 20 and 30 people. And I just hit SC 18. So it really helps. When my goal was SC 50, I was talking to 50 to 60 people, and I never want to hit SC 50 again. Like, it was way overwhelming, way too much, and I couldn't provide the quality that I wanted to. I don't know how like Ashley Molsa and Emily Favre hit like SC 400 and something. I have no idea. Like, they're magical or something, but there's just no way they can provide quality though to those people, like the personal connection. So, whoops, I just clicked out of here. So my recommendation is to Make sure you're talking to a lot of people and inviting people consistently. If you're not inviting people and you're not talking to people, you're going to get stagnant and you're going to get frustrated and you're going to feel like this isn't for me, this isn't working, I don't know what's wrong with me, blah, blah, blah. But it's really, you just need to talk to more people. So go make some friends. Okay, so next, be strategic. Know your deadlines. Know your placement. Know that Wednesday night are rank resets. Know that by Wednesday night, November 21st, is when you have to have your team lined up, your diamond lined up. And encourage your coaches to learn about the business. So many of us, our passion is to help teach other people how to run the business. So many of us struggle finding other people who want to grow the business. But a lot of the time, it's because we're putting health and fitness out there consistently, but we're not putting business out there consistently. And so one thing that I asked my team recently is, would you come to you if you wanted to build a business by looking at your social media account? And a lot of time, I had to ask myself that in March of this year, which is I completely restructured things in my approach and what I'm teaching, because my honest answer would be no. I wouldn't come to me if I wanted to build a business. I would come to me if I wanted to get healthy, because that's my happy place. That's my comfortable zone. But business and numbers was never my thing. And so I recognized, okay, well, that's crappy, because that's not going to help me. So I need to learn about the business and I need to start teaching it. And so every day I would make a YouTube video. How do you earn $500 in your first month as a coach? How do you hit emeralds in 24 hours? How do you hit diamond in a month? How do you all these different business things, because I want people to be attracted to what I'm doing to want to build a business, because that's how we have residual income and long-term success. You guys with me so far? Did I drink too much Energize? It's diluted. I'm hydrating also. Okay. My last tip before I get into some really cool numbers that I think you guys will like is to check your mindset. If you were to ask yourself, okay, do I genuinely believe that I can do this? Do I really feel like I can make this goal happen by November 22nd? If the answer is no, then dig deeper. Why? If I can do it, you can do it. If someone can do it in 11 days, you can do it in a month. What are the kind of maybe subconscious beliefs that you're holding on to that is making you feel like I don't think I can do this. This isn't meant for me. And all those doubts that we hold on to. This is why personal development is a fundamental part of our business. It's why it's a vital behavior, because we are the ones who get in our own way, not anybody else. Nobody else is putting that on you. You're putting that on yourself, and you're shutting yourself down before you ever try. And I am a big believer in that big goals are not always meant to be reached. I think they're meant to stretch us and show us what we're made of. So when I made this 5-star diamond goal to hit by, I think it was July 26th or 20, I think it was July 26th was the deadline that I had to hit that by. And I was like, I'm an active 1-star diamond it wasn't July. What am I talking about? I forget when the leadership deadline was. It was in August, right? Do you remember? Nobody remembers. I think it was in August. I literally had a month and a half. I think that's what it was. I had a month and a half to hit it. And I was like, well, why not? And I was like, oh my gosh, what did I just do? There's so many times I'm like, what did I just do? What kind of goal did I just set? I am out of my ever-loving mind. There's no way. Then I'm like, yes, I can. Okay. I got to reset my intention. And we came so close, but I never would have gotten close if I never would have set a huge goal. So I would encourage you to set big goals for yourself. And when you don't hit them, I promise you're not going to die. We treat big goals like, I'm going to die if I don't hit this, or I'm going to die if I do a live video. You're not going to, I promise you. It might be nervous and you might say a dumb word or something, but that means you're a real human, and that means you're more relatable. And failure makes us relatable, and failure is essential to achieve greatness. And if we can start wrapping our mind around that and honoring that struggle, then we will become so much more successful, so much faster, instead of avoiding those uncomfortable feelings. Okay, so check your mindset, check your fears, list out what you're afraid of, and then go for them. Do the things that you're afraid of and do them every single day, because I promise you that's how you're going to grow, and that's how you're going to be successful and be excited about it and be known as someone who is fearless, who runs towards their fears instead of ignores them because life's so busy. That was what I used to do. You guys still with me? Okay, so I'm going to actually share my screen with you really quick because I want to show you some numbers. If you were to, hold on, can you see my screen? Okay, so if you were to go from new coach to diamond in 1 month, it usually equals about $1,000. And this is such a great business strategy to market, because who couldn't use an extra $1,000, right? So when I created this training, it was when 2B Mindset and Lift 4 had just come out. So those are the challenge packs that I'm using for this example. But so these are the commission that is associated with each of these different challenge packs. And here is where you can do the math on this. Let me first say, if you do not yet know how to reverse engineer income goals, make that be on your list to make a YouTube video about, to teach it, because when we teach things, we learn it. So, do you guys all know how to find like what commission is on each of the things that your customers sell? Okay, so do you guys have the BB Links app? This is one of the easy ways to find it. If you go onto the BB Links app, let me open this up and then I'll actually show you. And you find a challenge pack. Here's my favorites. I'll show you a common one right now. So this is the annual Beachbody On Demand and Shakeology challenge pack. Right? Do you guys see it says retail bonus points 50? I don't know if you can see my phone at all. But if you look on your app, the retail bonus points, that is the commission that you're going to make. So this is a very easy way when your coaches ask you, or when you're making your financial goals, to look and see, to be mindset, I'm going to make $75 in commission from that challenge pack. How many challenge packs would I have to get my, sell or get my customers on board with in order to make my goal of $500? So this is like a really great business strategy. Okay, so again, this example, new coach to diamond. You've got nobody under you. Okay, so your left leg, you're going to do 4 coaches registering with 2B Mindset Challenge Pack. So it's 4 times 75, that's $300. You've got your first side filled with your left leg's filled. Your right leg, I just wanted to mix it up for the purposes of this. You have 2 coaches registering with the Lift 4 Challenge Pack, the regular one. 1 coach gets the Mega Pack and 1 coach gets the Deluxe Pack. Let me also encourage you, have you guys ever recommended the Deluxe or Mega Pack, or is there anyone who's never recommended those? Because I'll be honest, there was a while when they first came out that I never recommended those, because I thought, no one's going to buy that. I get the price objection on the cheapest $160 challenge pack. Why would someone spend $200 or $300? And that changed one day when I had someone who was complaining about money, barely decided to buy the $160 challenge pack. And then I advertised the mega pack, that's like 300 and something. And I got a message from them, oh my gosh, I wish I would have known about this. I would have gotten that option. I'm like, what? She's like, oh yeah, that came with so much. And I'm like, it's the Costco mentality. People go to Costco and spend $500 when they're on a budget because they get so much. And so with the mega pack, you're saving, I've done the math, I don't know it off the top of my head now, but With the mega pack, you end up saving like $300 when you get it. And the way you can say that is if you add up in the individual products and how much it would cost to buy them all separately, you can see how much they're saving. And that's, again, a huge business strategy. The same with like the 2B Mindset Challenge Pack with Beachbody On Demand. It's $360 worth of product and programs that they get for $220. So you can genuinely say you are getting a killer deal. It's not, even when it's not on sale, you're getting an insane amount of value at this price. And when you believe that wholeheartedly, you are not going to have the price objection nearly as often, which I know is something that we all have had. And it's so annoying, right? Because then you see people buying brand new $80,000 cars. Okay. So going back to this, here is the commission for the deluxe and the mega. So that ends up being $355 in commission that you're getting from your right leg. So here we go. Your left and right leg's full, and right now you're at $655. Let's say you sign up your husband, and you get commission on his account as well. And so you did, under your husband's account, let's say that you did 2B Mindset, that's another $150. And then so here is the breakdown here. Let me make this bigger for you guys. It's not working. Okay, so there's from your left and right legs. This is from your spouse's account. And then did you guys all know about the fast start bonuses? If you enroll 5 coaches within a 5-week rolling period, Beachbody will give you a $100 bonus. I will be honest with you. I did not know that for like the first year and a half, 2 years in my business. I just went forward. Like I was just like an excited human going crazy without a strategy. And so I'm like, what's that extra $100? I have no idea where that came from, but that's fun. So all of that is $900 just in commission. This does not include your team cycle bonuses. This does not include if you were to get 2 more and you get another $100. This is just in commission in that one fast start bonus. And it's $900. How awesome is that, right? Okay. Do you guys have any questions or feedback, or was anything like helpful, or is it like, are you like, this is still overwhelming, I still don't know if I can do it? You guys have to talk to me.
No, I think that this is all awesome information. So, because it really breaks it down, and I know some people are definitely like not show me the money, but give me numbers or number people, because I admit I'm really bad at knowing what my income is, and I don't have any income goals. So for you to kind of, well, I mean, I do have income goals. I just haven't really focused on them nor reverse engineered them. So that's going to be one of my things, is figuring out how to do that, because I have no idea. So I like that teaching mentality, like teach something so you can learn it. What do you say to, I guess, newer coaches? Because we do have a few newer coaches on this call, about maybe just action steps. Because I know that, like, speaking from my experience, when I first started, I kept getting ready to get ready, right? Or I didn't listen to anything that Alicia said because I thought that I knew better, or Justin, it was Justin's fault, really. Okay, maybe mine too. But, we're like, okay, well, they told us to do this, but we're going to do this. And it wasn't until probably 8 months later that we're like, oh, shoot, we should probably listen to what we're being. So, I mean, I guess when you have new coaches coming in, what are your action steps for them to take action and to find that initial success up front?
So that's a great question. And I've honestly shifted things, like, again, recently and throughout the last 2.5 years, because I feel like a lot of this is figuring out what works for you and works for your people. And everyone's so different. And that's one of the hard things about this business, is everyone's so different, and everyone comes to the table with baggage, and it's not all bad, but like, we all have doubts of our own and bad experiences and fears. And so one of the things that helped me, the best thing that my coach did for me, honestly, she's never been a hand holder. She's never provided really structure for me from the beginning. Like all the stuff that I do for my coaches, I never had, but she showed me what was possible. And because of my personality, and I'm a very self-sufficient person, I'm a solutions-oriented person. I see problems, I want to fix them, and I'm just naturally excited, and that's why I've been so successful in a shorter period of time. But the best thing she did for me was ask me to write out my goals for the next year, 5, 10 years. And I had never done that. And I was like, and she told me, dream big. I'm like, what does that even mean? Like, I had a great job. I had an amazing husband. I had a 3-month-old baby. Our house is incredible. Like, life was really good. But if someone had asked me, where do you want to be in 5 years? I just figured I'd just continue existing in my, pretty good life. And when she told me, if you could have anything, what would it be? I was like, well, I probably wouldn't be working in prison. Like, I don't know anyone who would want to work in prison. So if I wouldn't work in prison, what would I want to be doing? And that's when everything started for me. And I set income goals like, well, I would hope to match my nursing income within, I think it was 5 years. And I did it in 2, and she's like, oh my gosh, you have no idea what you're getting into. And it was that kind of conversation that I'm like, oh my gosh, this is insanely incredible. And so with my coaches, I try to ask those same questions. If you could have anything in the next 1 year, 2 year, 5 years, what would you want your life to look like? What would you want your family's life to look like? Would your spouse still be working in the same job that they're working in? And that conversation really helps get people excited, because excitement and long-term vision is so important in the beginning and in the first year, because like I said, it's the hardest. In any job you get into, I feel like the first year is the hardest because you're learning a lot, and there's a lot of failures through that, and there's a lot of like doubts that come into your mind, like, what am I doing? So if you can stay connected with that long-term vision, that's really important. And then the second thing is, what I've been doing lately is shifting to stop learning. Like, I don't want people to learn anymore. Like, we overlearn in this business and we don't act. And so I started a new Coach Basics training, that with after getting feedback from some of my coaches who were like, I am so overwhelmed. Even one of my coaches who hit diamond in a month, she was like, I am so overwhelmed. Like, I don't know what I'm doing. I don't like that feeling. And I'm recognizing, okay, we need to go back to the basics. So I require people to get 3 people started with the same challenge pack that they got in order to be part of our leadership training page, where I have all the resources. I share a cart training. I tell them I'll help them with their first share cart, but until they can get 3 people started, they don't need to know anything else. And that's really been a great shift for us, because every single coach who I've put through or given all of these resources, they have not been successful because they overlearn and they get overwhelmed and they don't ever take action, even signing up their spouse. So that would be like my biggest recommendation, is to keep it so simple. And this was actually something that Sydney, our new corporate mentor, told me in my last one-on-one with her, was that's what Emily Favre does. That's what Ashley Molstad does, is they say, let's get you started with 3 people the same way that you got started with. So people don't need to know about all these other challenge packs. They just need to know, I started with the 2B mindset. I'm going to find 3 people who could get started with the 2B mindset challenge pack. You can guide them with their spouse's account. In this outline that I'll give you, it says, like, for spouses, since you already have Beachbody On Demand, you can do the 3-day refresh challenge pack. Or if you didn't get 2B mindset, you could do the 2B mindset and Shakeology challenge pack, so you don't have 2 Beachbody On Demand accounts. If that's something that people would get kind of weird about. But sign up, just start. Is really like, start taking action and keep them accountable, and say, as soon as you do this, you get to be a part of this, or then you get to be part of the training. Then I'll show you how to grow your business more. And that approach has been working Is that helpful?
Yeah, I totally love that. I mean, because I know that I can get I mean, I've been doing this for 4 years and I can still get overwhelmed with too much information because there's so much to learn. And if you're, I mean, I think learning is valuable, but when all you're doing is learning and you're not acting on that learning, then you get frustrated when your business doesn't grow and like, well, this isn't for me. Well, you haven't even done the things that it takes to do. So I love that so much.
Awesome. Do you guys have any other questions for me? Any other questions about like working from home? Like that's been a huge shift for me. Honestly, it was easier working outside the home. Corey.
Can we see Carlos?
Yes, absolutely. He's wearing a Superman costume. Oh, he just smiled. I think he heard your voice.
Yay. That made me happy. Thank you.
Welcome. I'm glad I can be helpful.
See, guys, this is something that is so easy to overlook. And while, like, it was funny because when I was talking to Jessica, she's like, so I might have the kids with me and I might not, and I hope that's okay. And I'm like, absolutely, because that's real life. Because I know that we all have excuses of, oh, I work full time, or I'm a soccer mom, or I've got this crazy life going on, or I've got little ones at home, or we can all have these reasons, right? Like legitimate excuses. But then she's proof that, hey, I've got these young ones at home and I'm still able to do it. Like, I think she went to new litter training. She packed up her family. Little man was what, like a month old? And she made it happen because she saw a vision. She had that goal in mind. And was it easy? Probably not. You know, she was breastfeeding and doing all sorts of fun stuff, but she was making it happen. And so it's not that it's easier for her or she's something special. You're special, you know what I mean? But it's not that she has this magic sauce that nobody else can attain. It's that she is consistent and she's doing those things and she's coachable and she's always she's failing forward. It's not like every single thing she does is successful. She's willing to fail and know that that's just part of it, right? But she's taking action, which I think a lot of us as newer coaches can sometimes let kind of like, okay, well, I'm going to do the pretty pictures on the Instagram. And if somebody asks me, hey, what are you doing? Then I'm going to tell them. But honestly, that's not how you run your business. Like, Jessica, do you have probably like, I guess maybe a percentage of, hey, how many people actually reach out to you versus you reaching out to and building that relationship?
I did that breakdown. I can't remember what I did it for, but I did do that breakdown, and it's different now that I've showed up every day for 2.5 years, and so I have more of a following. But especially in the beginning, and even now, like maybe 20% of people will come to me, and that's high. Like, don't expect that. And I never do expect that. I put it out there every single day, and I try to live my example and life out loud, and the life that I want to live out loud, so that I can hopefully inspire. Like, this whole business is about inspiring people, right? We want to inspire life, like a higher quality of life in the people that we interact with. And so sometimes people will reach out to me and say, what you just shared was really, really got to me. I really want to be a part of what you're doing. But for the most part, it's always me reaching out to them, me following up with them 7 times that I've been ghosted. And on the 7th time, it's like, oh my gosh, thank you so much for continuing to reach out. I'm so sorry I haven't responded, but my dad's been going through chemo. I really need this in my life. And then you're like, oh my gosh, I almost quit on this person. And like along those lines, when it comes to, you have to find something deep within you that wants this, that wants to make an impact bigger than you've ever thought about. And that's really what drives me, like is I really want to make an impact. I don't know if you guys who's been to Summit or been to a Beachbody event, but I've heard several stories where someone has said that, like, do you guys even understand how many people have not committed suicide because of a coach post? That's crazy. Like that, what we're doing is so powerful. And social media can be so powerful in people's lives, because what do people do when they're depressed or they're struggling? They go on social media. Like, it's just like, and they're scrolling through and they're angry and bitter, and then all of a sudden they see your face, or they see like you share your vulnerable story that, man, I used to struggle so bad with depression, and I remember, this time in my life where I didn't know what to live for anymore. And then I got onto this health journey, and I was so scared, and I didn't think that this would ever work for me, but here I am now, and now I want to help people through what I went through. And all of a sudden that person doesn't take the pills or puts the gun down. Like, I've heard so many stories like that because of a coach post. So if you're not making the time, then it just means you haven't found what sets your soul on fire yet. And this business is so selfless. Like, it's so selfless. In order to be successful, you have to help people in their business to be successful. You can't be successful on your own. You are constantly investing in people. You are constantly doing the development and being vulnerable, even when it's not fun, because you know that it might change somebody's life. And I don't know about for you, but for me, with the stuff that I've been through, I lost my dad when I was young. I almost died when I was young. When I was 11, I was hit by a drunk driver. I was divorced at 26 and completely blindsided by that. But what motivates me to share those stories is if it can help one person to live a better life, then I'm going to share it. I'm going to share it. I'm going to shout from the mountaintops. I'm going to tell them that they can get through this, that they can choose the outcome of their life, that their circumstances do not define them, and that they can choose to be an overcomer versus a victim. And that's what, if you can't tell, that's what really drives me to be successful in this, because I know the more successful my business, the bigger the message. And the platform we have as coaches is so phenomenal to share that with people, inspire people. And that going on, I don't know, first of 12, what your name is, but to go off of your question of how do I find time to work from home, honestly, you guys, it's been so much harder to work from home than it ever was to have a full-time job outside of the home. And I really feel, though, like we choose our hard, because it's hard to work outside of the home away from your babies as well. That's not easy. That's very hard, but at least you're focused on work, and you're not. Now I'm focused on, I'm doing a call and making sure my kids don't burn their fingers off on the fireplace at the same time. Like, it's exhausting. And so the best thing that I've done is connecting. Like, I still have that vision and that purpose. I have to do this. It's not an option for me. I have to do this. And because it's not an option, I have to structure my time. This is why my 2-year-old is at daycare 2 days a week. I have to have help. And I would highly suggest that you do that too. And a lot of people say, I don't want to pay for someone to watch my kids. Well, you have to invest in your business sometimes to make money. And so I try to get my grandmother to help with this one, but everyone in my family is out of the state right now, including my husband. So it's been a super rough couple weeks, but I have block time where I wake up at 4 a.m. And I've done that since I started working, or since I was growing my business and working full time. I wake up at 4 a.m. and I either do my workout or I have focused work time before the boys wake up. Then I do my workout with them, and then, I hang out with them, and then I have work time and I put a cartoon on for them. And I know there's some mom guilt with that, but honestly, this is more important. I know that I want to be present with my kids for their whole life. And if I don't grow my business, I will have to go back to work, and I won't have the flexibility in my schedule. I have the goal to retire my husband from law enforcement in 4 years. And if I don't work my business, that's not a reality at all. And so I think it really comes down to connecting with your purpose, and then also structuring your time. Block time is the best thing that you can do, and finding a way to make it happen, even if it's super early in the morning or up late at night. Okay.
I love all of this. Does anybody else have any more questions? Because I have another question, but I don't want to hog the whole thing. No? Okay. And I forgot what it was. That always happens to me. What would you say, I guess, kind of following up with that, I know a lot of people, I talk to coaches all the time, whether or not they work full time or they're stay-at-home moms or they're just stay-at-home, whatever. The the objections or the time constraints seem to be the same, So I think that's kind of when you pick your heart or your reality becomes your baseline, right? So I see and this sounds, I don't mean it to sound bad, but I see people that stay at home and I'm like, well, wow, you have all this time. I work full time, so I have to find these little pockets of time. But I also realize that I've had the last few days off, and it is hard because you're like, oh, I have all this time, in little pockets. And I find that it takes me way longer to get my stuff done because I have more time. I don't have that structure. What I did the last 2 days, I actually got up same time, whether or not I worked, still got up at 4:30 in the morning, did my workout, did all my things, grabbed my laptop, took it to a coffee shop. And so I was able to get such focused work done because I didn't have the distractions of home or my dog or the dishes or Netflix or whatever. So that really helped me. But I would say for you, what did you have, your pockets of time? Did you have kind of a list of important to-dos? Because I know that it could be really easy to go, oh, our primary job is to post on social media. And while that's super important, if that's, your basis of, oh, I'm going to post, and so I'm going to spend an hour and a half creating this post, and then you don't have all this other stuff, what would you recommend kind of in order of importance to work on?
That's a great question. I think, and everyone does this different. There's not a one strategy that's only this works, because I've tried so many different ones. If you Google Power Hour, you can have a checklist of things to do. But I feel like interactions are primary. You have to be interacting with people. And so I love the PB&J invites that was from National Wake Up Call. I love those. And I love the 5x3x1 system where you go on Instagram and you like 5 of their pictures, you comment on 3 and message them about 1. What a perfect way to create, you're authentically creating friends. That is what this is about, because you need people to trust you, and you want people to come to your profile and look and see who you are and what you're about. You do have to create good content, but every day you need to be talking to people, and you have to be following up with people. I know any of you have been doing this for any amount of time can attest to the fact that so much of this comes from following up with people and showing them that you mean what you're saying. You're not just copy and pasting a message to them. You genuinely care about their success. And along those lines, ask questions more than you inform people. People don't want to know about you. They want you to know about them. And when you can have that approach, you usually can get someone on board because you are curious. I really feel like we are part detectives as coaches. We want to know what people's problems are, what their goals are, what have they tried before that hasn't worked, what have they tried before that has worked, where do they want to be in 3 months, what are their biggest barriers that they see getting in the way of them being successful, or what has gotten in their way before. When you can ask basic questions like that, people feel like, oh, this person actually knows what they're talking about, because they know to ask me these questions. And you'll find most people have not ever asked themselves those questions. They're just aimlessly running around in circles looking for answers, wanting to lose weight, trying Weight Watchers, trying keto, trying vegan, trying paleo, going in a circle of all these different strict things. And then they're like, my body doesn't work, I'm broken. And you're like, you're not broken, you're just a little bit crazy, you need some direction. And that's what I'm here for. So I would say, if you have those small pockets of time, to really focus on the vital behaviors, which they actually shifted at leadership. They should be I don't know if have they posted in the back office about that, because I haven't seen it yet. But the invite has changed to connect, invite, follow up, because they're recognizing that it's not just about inviting. It's about connecting with people. That's where we build trust. And it's about following up with people, and have a tracking system. You have to. I did pen and paper for forever. I've just switched to Airtable. Never heard of it before. Saw it on a Facebook ad. I have struggled so hard with having an electronic tracking system. Pen and papers always work best for me, but I'm recognizing the more people I talk to, the more details I have about them, I need to change. So Airtable, you can check it out. It's free, and there's a lot of different possibilities. I use their CRM option, and I have a spreadsheet, and you can put details, people's emails in there. But just to know that when you have focused work time, that's what make it your mission to connect with a certain amount of people. Invite 3 to 5 people a day at least, I would say, like with PB&J invites, at least. If you don't do that, you will lose momentum, I promise.
And boom.
Mic drop. Someone told me I should carry a microphone in my purse and like be at the store and be like passionately talking about someone, just take out my mic and drop it on the floor and walk away. And then you can have your 2-year-old come by and pick it up, be like, that's my mom.
Well, I want to thank you so much for taking the time out of your busy mommy schedule to share some takeaways and tips. And I hope that I'm sure everybody found it very valuable. And just that you're an inspiration that, you know, we all have things that we have to overcome or find those time struggles. And you're just showing that it's a choice, and it's not always easy, but it's absolutely a choice. And your goals and your passion have to outweigh the struggles and the 4 a.m.s, right? Like, who wants to get up at 4 a.m.? But if you have that vision for your family that you want more, you make that time. So
it's almost to become like a game to me. Like if I'm afraid of something or something's uncomfortable, I'm like, dang it, I have to do it.
Yeah.
Like guys jumping out of airplanes, I still won't do that. But like in this realm, and like Brendan Bouchard's stuff, I don't know if you guys follow him at all. So powerful. I went to the High Performance Academy. I'm doing his high performance coaching right now, and read his book. I highly, highly, highly recommend it because of just like his whole honor the struggle message. If something's hard, you know you're on the right path. That's in our workouts too, right? If you're not struggling through your workouts, you're not going to get stronger. You're not going to get in shape. And so our business is the same. If something's hard for you in this business, honor that as this is a sign that I'm growing. These are growing pains. And that mentality really helps.
Awesome. No, agree on the Brendan Bouchard. I've actually recommended it lately. So he's got a show called The Brendan Show that's really great. And then I think you can actually get the high performance on a podcast. I think like his second season is him reading the book.
Yeah.
Called High Performance Habits. So that's a good one.
Cool, guys. Thanks so much for having me. I appreciate it.
Awesome. Thanks so much for taking the time. All right. You guys have a great day. Thanks so much for being on, and have a good day. Get busy. Get to work. Bye.